Today's episode of the Just Keep Swimming podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is an online audiobook and podcast service offering over 10,000 books and the ability to listen to your favorite podcasts, including the Just Keep Swimming podcast. I personally use Audible all the time and suggest you take a listen to Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell. In this book, Mr. Maxwell shares his story on how he was able to live a noble and purposeful life and gives you tips and tricks so you can do the same. So please start your 30-day free trial now at www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast, all lowercase. Again, that is www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast. And if you have any more questions or concerns for the Just Keep Swimming podcast, you're always welcome to reach out to us on Facebook or at Instagram at justkkeepswimming_podcast, or you can email us at jkspodcast702@gmail.com. And with that out the way, let's dive into it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. This is your friend, your boy, your host, Mr. Adrian Jackson, and we back at it again with another great episode for you. And you already know who I got with me. It's your boy, the man, the myth, the legend. It's Mr.
Captain Capper.
Okay, feeling pop today. I like it.
Yes, sir. You know, there's been a lot of caps this week, including the new gun on Call of Duty, if you haven't heard.
Oh, wow.
And they also got one called Bussin'. So, yeah, go get busting on them caps and those other people and the players and shit.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Look, I'm over Call of Duty. It take up too much space, bro. I'm done with that game.
Shoot, no, I understand. Shoot, they always got updates, too.
It's an update every damn day. I'm like, how many times you update this game? This is crazy. You ain't changing nothing. Whatever, bro. But glad to have you again with us, you know what I'm saying, for another great episode we have. Unfortunately, we don't have a guest for this week. It's been a wild week on all sides. Mm-hmm. But I kind of think that led to our topic for today as well. So I think it's going to work out perfectly. So for today's topic, I have the question, what did God do for me this week? So this question kind of popped in my head listening to Napoleon Hill's. He has a book on Audible, check it out, called The Golden Rules, Napoleon Hill's Golden Rules. And one of his rules was, you have to have that spiritual life in some way, somehow. And then I guess he was talking about in one of his classes, like his classes that he had going on, he actually had a lesson where he challenged the people in the class to say every single morning, "Good morning, God. What do you have for me today? I want to be a part of it." And then when you wake up, you say that statement, and then you just sit back and see what God did for you in your life that day. You know what I'm saying? And just at the end of the day, reflect. What is something that God did for me today? So I was thinking that, maybe not today, but we can focus on the week 100%. And see, what is something that God did for you this week. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start off with, I always have two main questions for this topic, and I think they're going to be actually perfect. So the first question is, what did God do for you this week that you noticed?
That I noticed?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That you was aware, that you was like, man, this can't be nothing but God, because I don't know how this happened. So
two things come to mind, and they're kind of like on, if you could say, opposite sides of the spectrum. Mm. So earlier this week, I think it was Wednesday, there was a situation at work where, I was just kind of put into a position of whether to kind of retaliate on a certain situation or not. Especially when it was to me it seemed like it was an unnecessary reaction towards me. And it honestly took a lot for me not to say anything, but it felt like God picked up a lot of that work for me, and it was like, hey,
I see what they did. Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's not, first off, it's not worth it. Second of all, that other person could have had something else going on, and then also just considering their circumstances too for where they're at in life. And third, it was reiterating the fact that hey, you didn't do anything wrong. You did what you were supposed to. So let's not jumped the gun here,
right.
even though there was multiple chances or multiple instances where I like it was just like a jab at me, and I just decided to like not do anything and hold back. Like, yeah, I voiced my opinion. I had my outlets where I needed it to be, but I was able to utilize those assets and not take it out on anybody else for that matter.
Right.
So I think that was just like a huge blessing just for me being able to not create more tension than there already is within the company overall. So I would say that's one big blessing. And then honestly today, it was when my relationship manager, she had some clients come in and she brought me in to introduce them because I'm going to essentially be creating an account for them. But, you know, it was just beautiful because me and the clients had like kind of just like a instant vibe. It was cool. And then, you know, possibly we can bring them in for the show just because of who they are and what they're doing. So
right.
Make sure to stay in tune.
yeah. Be on the watch out. That'll be a good episode coming soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and it was just I think that moment today also just kind of reiterated how far I've come in terms of just being able to socialize and just think on my feet and just like be within the moment to enjoy whatever was going on and possibly make some new opportunities and to inspire me to keep going where I'm going, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I like that. I love that. And I love you have two. And I think the first one for sure I truly love because it's the idea that, you know, I learned a while ago. It's like, you know, don't try to retaliate. Don't try to get revenge. Just literally say, God, you see what they did to me just now. You see what happened. I'm going to leave this in your hands and let it go from there.
Exactly.
You know, and then it's like find that peace in your system again. Saying, you know what, I'm not about to stress it. I'm going to throw this to a higher power and let it go and go from there. You know, and like you said, it got handled on the backside and you had nothing to it. You know, you just had to sit there and watch it play out. You know, he's like, at the end, he's like, oh, hey, thank you. You know? Yeah, sweet revenge. I ain't do not a damn thing. So I love it, man. I love it.
It's like not only was I supported by the spiritual, by God himself, but like it manifested into like my other relationships that I work closely with too. And it's just like, cool. It's just a reinforcement I'm being supported.
Right, exactly. I love it, bro. I love it. So for me, I guess one that I would have right now would be... you know, it's kind of just like, you know, I had to look at this point like this has to be God timing because there's no other way this could work out. You know, as everybody knows, I got in a car accident not too long ago. Because the way my insurance set up and the other guy's insurance or whatever the case may be, I haven't got to rent a car yet. And it's been 2 weeks, you know. But Which is wild, right? Which is wild because everybody's talking about I got to rent a car the next day. And I'm like, why the fuck is it taking me so long? But I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna be patient, I'm gonna sit back and not do nothing. So then, ironically, or maybe not, planned, whatever, my one of my coworkers, they went out of town for a while they went out of town for like 2-3 weeks. And they didn't want to leave their car at home because they had nowhere else to leave it, and last thing they wanted to do was leave it at home and let it sit outside in their apartment and somebody try to get it from them.
It's happened before.
Because it happened before, you know what I'm saying? Windows have been broken, stuff like that. So they reached out, you know, when they brought up to me, they were like, you know, I have no problem with you using my car. You know, I need somebody to watch it anyway. And I was like, wow, that is crazy timing that, you know, you need somebody to watch your car, and on the day that you need somebody to watch your car, I have a job interview, a doctor's appointment, I have a job interview next day, the doctor's appointment, I got work on Saturdays. It's like perfect timing. Right when everything starts to get crazy, out of nowhere a car is now available for me that I don't have to pay for. I just have to put gas in it and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that right there is like something that's just beautifully timed that you can't imagine. Like this has to be the power of God. The idea that, and we're both getting helped out because while they're gone, they're gonna be at home making some more money at the same time. So it's like it helped them out because now she's like, oh, my car's safe and I'm making money. Help me out because I'm helping somebody out. You know, I feel good now because I'm washing somebody's car and now I have a way to get around. Yeah. When I didn't have a way to get around.
Especially like in a high kind of stressful situation.
In a high stressful situation where you're just, you know, you can't think properly and stuff like that. So it's like, oh wow, this is crazy how perfect it worked out.
And it's kind of like, it kind of makes you think like it reinforces your faith a little bit too for when next time a stressful situation comes. It's like, okay, it's gonna work out.
It's gonna work out. It worked out before.
Yeah.
Let me get through it. You know what I'm saying? Let me just be patient and know that it's gonna work out in my favor somehow, some way. So then, the second thing that I would suggest is just the job opportunities I've been having coming up. You know, same thing. The timing is crazy. The idea that when I lose my car, all of a sudden all these jobs want to reach out to me now and try to get me. But then at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, the ability to not have my car and actually be able to sit down and think, it started making me realize, do I actually want this job? You know, is it just because of the money? Or is it something I actually want to do? So I recently just had a job that I turned down that was going to pay me more money, but it was going to affect other aspects of my life. And, you know, I had to really truly get the confidence and, you know, had to really sit down and figure it out, you know. And ironically, this is the funny part. Ironically, I was trying to avoid the idea I need to sit down and think. But when I got home, I could not find my remote.
Oh, yeah,
I looked for my remote for 2-3 hours yesterday, and I could not find it until the very end of the night when I was about to say, you know what, I'm about to just go to bed. And then right then, I found it stuck in between the pillow cushions.
Wow.
That I swore I looked up and down through. Yeah. And I just found it randomly. And it was like, okay, that was God saying, nah, don't worry about that right now. Don't worry about the TV. Let's get these thoughts out the way. And then once these thoughts are done, we can go from there. And literally, that's exactly what happened. Like, once I got my thoughts out and I sat down or whatever, something told me, check this one more time. It has to be right there. And then right then I looked and it's there. And it was like, ain't this crazy, you know what I'm saying?
You know, and that saying your story kind of brings up another thing that kind of just happened this week, right? It's just crazy how he kind of forces you to sit the fuck down.
Forces you to sit the fuck down, exactly.
And, like, just go through the process so that you can realize, like, hey, everything's all right.
Everything's okay.
Because, you know, there was a couple things that I was kind of, I guess, worried about, just in relations with like other close friends and, you know, people that I'm, you know, starting to get to know more and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, okay, how is this all gonna work out? And then, you know, it's just, okay, let's just see what happens. Let's trust the process a little bit, right?
Right.
So, you know, go through the day, go through work, you know, handle my business and stuff like that. And lo and behold, like, as I'm just chatting with some people, like, there's just certain things that were just talked about or brought up or things like that, to where it's like, yo, I have nothing to worry about. Like, you know, people still got my back. People still kind of have my best interest in mind. And just as much as I want to support them and care about them and worry about our relationship, they probably do the same thing and actually, you know, contribute to it. And it just, again, just reinforces the fact that Father got my back and everybody else has my back just as much as I have theirs.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying? And that's a real thing too, because, you know, that also goes to the thought of, like, last night. Like, my mindset last night was write down my options, meditate on it, pray on it, let it go. You know what I'm saying? And go from there and see how I feel. And this morning, before I actually made the phone call to say I don't want the job, I shared my ideas with 3 different people of my pros and my cons and how I feel. And it was funny because I was expecting everybody to rebuttal. Not one person rebuttal. Nobody said, I don't know, man. Like, no, everybody was like, I understand. You know what I'm saying? I understand. You know, yeah, more money sounds good, but no weekends, no holidays, no flag football. You love that stuff. Yeah. You know, podcasts, you know, stuff like that. It was like all that stuff got thrown out, and it was like, wow, I didn't think everybody would truly agree with me on this level. So it made the phone call easier to say, nah, I don't want this. You know, definitely, you know. And then there was other aspects that was thrown in my face too. Somebody was like, yeah, it's kind of rushed too. And I was like, yeah, you're right, it is rushed. And they're like, yeah, if they're rushing your decision right now, think how it's gonna be when you're working there. They're gonna rush the hell out you to do everything. And I'm like, you're probably right. You know what I'm saying? Definitely for a supervisor position, that's not something you answer within 24 hours. Like, you lucky want a weekend to think about that. And nope, they want to answer within, you know, they called me at 7 o'clock at night, want to answer by noon the next day. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, that's a little too fast.
Yeah, I didn't even know all that. I didn't know they was pressing that much.
Oh, yeah, they was pressing. They pressing. Like, she wanted to answer right now. I had to ask for time. I was like, I need some time. I can't just give you a yes right now because my mind is not there. I can't do it, you know. But yeah, you know, and that's right there. It's like the mindset of he's talking through other people without knowing that, you know, they don't even know he's talking to them. But shoot, Everybody, like I said, I talked to them. They came with a calm, Tom voice, and yeah, it sounds good to me, blah, blah. It was no rebuttal, no anger, nothing like that. And it was like, thank you for helping me solidify my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I had this thought, I was feeling this way, but I wasn't sure about my feelings. I wasn't sure if I wanted to share them either.
Yeah.
But I was like, let me just share and just see what happens, get another opinion, you know. Either way, it's still my decision. Yeah. But I just want to hear what they think. And it turned out pretty good. And I was like, okay, I feel good about this. And then right after I made the phone call, you know, still nervous making the phone call, but then right after it was done, just started giggling and shit because you felt that peace and that laughter and that I feel good right now, you know.
You know, and I think that's like the true ultimate confirmation
that you did something right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like God really pulled through on that, and now you have his how do you say his piece is it's not comprehensible. It's like you can't understand.
You can't explain it. Yeah, you can't explain it. You can't understand it. You don't know how it happened, but you just feel it and you know it's there.
Yes.
And that's like the sign of that reminds me of the saying, you know, the bottle cap. You drop a bottle cap, but it lands, non-water touching side up. Yeah. They say God is with you type deal. And that's how you know everything's good. And I've been noticing that too. I've been dropping a lot of stuff and it's been landing the way I want it to land. It's like good. I'm glad you didn't land face down and now I got freaking butter on my floor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Okay. So then that leads to my next question. Mm-hmm. What is something that you feel God did for you that you didn't notice? But now that you're talking about it, you made like, maybe that was.
Let me think. You got one on mine already?
Oh, I do. I got a perfect one, actually. So my perfect one is last Friday when it rained, flooded, whatever. I just listened to this. I had my first physical therapy appointment, or my first chiropractic physical therapy. I don't know what it is. I thought it was chiropractic gonna crack your back, but it's physical therapy too. Whatever. Anyway, I had, I'm walking. It's only literally 15 minutes down. It's like literally a 15-minute walk, 12-minute walk, whatever, depending on how fast I'm walking. But it's raining all day. My appointment is at 2. I leave the house at 1:40 because I want to make sure I got enough time to get there. Mm-hmm. I get there, or I'm walking. Right when I start walking, the rain stops. And it stopped raining. It sprinkled a little bit, just enough to keep your body cool, but it never really truly rained. When I got there like 5 minutes early, so they had me wait outside. As I'm waiting outside, it starts to pour. But I'm covered, it's pouring. It's raining hard as hell. I'm like, damn, this shit's crazy. I'm hoping I got walking this. Mm-hmm. I'm at the appointment for 2.5 hours. I'm pissed. I'm there for so long. I thought I was supposed to be here in and out. Crack my back, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Right when I leave the appointment, it stopped raining again. I get all the way back home. Right when I get home, change my clothes, it starts raining again. And I'm watching my fucking, my little sidewalk over here flood.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's crazy how this timing just worked out like that. Like the idea that both times I took this trip, it didn't rain on me, but right when the trip ended, the rain started again. And it was like, okay, that's just, I can't put that on nothing else, you know what I'm saying? Like I have no idea how the timing worked that way. I didn't plan that timing. The weather apps suck, you can't trust that timing. So it's like, that was just,
You know what's crazy? Because same thing happened on my side on Friday. Because it was, I get home, it's pouring, blah, blah, blah. I get to our sisters, and then watch the dog, blah, blah, blah. Go to the gym, pouring, and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, there's a rave tonight. People want me to go, but I'm like looking around, I'm like, how is we gonna do this? Yeah. Mm-hmm. As soon as I get done with the gym, and it's pouring, bro. Like, it's pouring. As soon as I drop Gerald off, stops. Whole night, stop.
Ready for you to go.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, is you really pushing me like that to just, hey,
go have some fun?
Yeah, go have some fun. Mm-hmm. I know you're tired and stuff like that, but like, hey, just go have some fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy the night, stay safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And that's the idea too. Like I said, trust the process. You know what I'm saying? Just trust the process. Because like, that's how I feel. All these jobs have been calling me. Mm-hmm. I don't remember applying for them. I have to go look through my Indeed to find out when I applied for this job. And a lot of them were months ago. Mm-hmm. And it's like, damn, y'all just now calling me now, But like I said, trust the process. Because now the doors are opening and like, okay. I keep saying I attract money. And now it's like the money's trying to find me now, And then on top of that, I didn't want to work flag football on Sundays. I didn't want to work all day. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'll be willing, but I don't want to work all day. ironically, they texted me and they said, hey, we need somebody for Sunday, but I only need you for 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
I only need you from 10 to 1. I'm like, oh, shit, I gotta wake up early?
Yeah.
And I can be there at 10 o'clock? Like, hell yeah, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? 3 hours, that's in and out, get paid for it. Customer service, you know, or I'm kind of community service, I'm getting paid for it. And after that, I still got my whole day. You know what I'm saying? I can use that as a workout. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, that right there is like, and then at the same time, I had to compare. Do I take the casino job and work weekends for the rest of my life? Or do I work weekends for 7 weeks? And then boom, I have a week off and my cruise around the corner after that. Yeah. So it's like, you know what, let me just do this. Get some extra money, pocket money. You know, I'm not dying or nothing like that. I don't need to fucking, you know, all money, more money's nice, but it makes you realize, like, I'm fine with what I have, though. I'm really good with what I have, and me chasing this sin of wealth is going to make you unhappy. And it's like something I had to stop and say, like, too, like, you know what? I know you want more, but pause right now, enjoy what you got, and if you really love what you have right now, the wealth you really want will come.
You know, and okay, speaking on that too, so I don't know if the audience knows, but I just started going back to school again so I can get my master's in psychology, so I can get my marriage and family therapist license. So, you know, first week of school started like, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Or no, it was last week. And okay, well, what usually comes with school? You gotta figure out the financial aid and the financial situation. Okay, well, automatically get the Pell Grant, that's fine, right? But I got all of these first years going to cost like 10 grand. How am I going to pay for this? And then also I'm not trying to take out too many loans because that's the shit that kills you afterwards. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so subsidized, I don't pay interest until after I'm done with graduating. Yeah. And then for unsubsidized, you still get tax on interest. Well, I was offered $4,500 in subsidized and then $6,000 in unsubsidized. I'm like, I'm not trying to take that $6 grand though, you know. Right. I'm not trying to take any of that. Okay, well, I gotta figure it out. Like, I gotta call the financial aid office. And I tried to call Monday, didn't work, and I'm like nervous about it. So, you know what? When we get home Tuesday, let me call before I start my homework. Okay, well, you know, explain, ask questions getting answered and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, well, can I just choose to take one or the other? Yeah, you can. Okay, cool. I'm just trying to take that. Okay, well, these are the due dates. So when is the money actually due for each class? Okay, well, it's due on that point. It's just the first class, so you give more time because it takes a while for all of that stuff to shift through in general. Right. Especially with scholarships possibly coming in. I'm like, okay. So I was like, is there any other, like, is there like a payment plan option or something like that for me to do? Okay, well, we have this deferment plan. You know, you can pay 60 days after your class starts. I'm like, okay, dope. I was like, that's still a lot of money to kind of just be saving up, especially 60 days isn't too much, especially when I have other bills and responsibilities and stuff like that. Right. Can I combine both? Let me go check. Sitting there nervous. I'm just like, I hope so. Oh yeah, we can actually do that now. Yeah, I'm like, wow, what a blessing. Because now I can just take the subsidized and not pay that much money. I don't have that much of a loan to take out, and now I still have that deferment. So now I have extra time to actually, hey, sit down. I can budget this money over the next couple months to make sure I have this paid and this paid and this paid, and it's just a couple extra dollars. Not only that, they finally charged my car for the title, so now I can take my old car off my insurance, save a little bit more money there, and then that's basically all done. Right. I just have my regular car payment and then my regular bills and stuff like that. So it's just everything's just lining up. Yes. I'm where I'm supposed to be. Right, exactly. No, and that's real, bro, because that's how I feel. Like, before all these decisions even happened, on the phone call started, I was listening to an audiobook, and two things now, the bell's reminding me. So, you know, I listened to an audiobook, and, you know, it's called No Mud, No Lotus. It's a pretty good book. It's kind of it's an Indian dude talking, so he has a pretty thick accent, but he's dropping gems. And so, like, one of the gems, he actually dropped 2 gems that were amazing because the beep and watch really reminded me of it. But one of the gems he was talking about was, you know, asking yourself, are you sure? You know, are you sure that this is going to happen?
Are you sure that if you, freaking make it to work late, you're gonna be fired? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you sure that what you're thinking negatively of right now is actually gonna happen, or are you ODing? You know, and then I kind of took that and ran with it. I'm like, I love that question. Are you sure? So I kind of used that for the whole job situation. Am I sure that I want this? Am I sure that this is where I want to be at? Like, am I sure? Like, am I not just going to... Don't just jump into it. Ask yourself, are you sure?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that right there is like... That was like one of those gems that I needed to hear because I asked myself that about 6 times last night. Am I sure? Am I sure about this? Am I sure about this feeling? Am I sure about this? Am I sure about this decision I'm about to make?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like... I'm not really like, you know... And it just makes me not contradict, but it makes me just think a little bit deeper on the topic. You know?
It makes you cast up the question to God to figure out for you. So like, because it's like a closed mouth don't get fed.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
If you never question it or anything like that, and like ask him, then he, you know, I mean, of course he knows to help you, but like now it's like, hey, you're coming to him to help you out. Now he can actually work his magic.
Right, and then that's kind of how I felt about it. I felt more of it like it's a question he's asking me. You know, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Are you sure? Am I? You know what I'm saying? It's like, am I sure now? Let me think about that now. Let's like give me a second to pause and think like, okay, you're right. Let me actually see. Is this gonna line up with what I'm doing in life? You know what I'm saying? This line up where I'm going. Just line up with your vision of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
That last part especially.
Yeah, you know, it's just lined up with the path that you want me to walk. And that was the question I had too. Like, you know, I don't want to walk the path that I want to walk. I want to walk the path that's meant for me to walk.
Exactly. And
the last thing I want to do is do something that's going to take me off that path just for a few extra dollars a year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. And then this one of the things he dropped on the side note, every time this bell goes off now, y'all hear the clock go off all the time, now the stopwatch. It goes off whenever it wants to. I trust me, I try to change the time, whatever. But the dude said something amazing in the book as well, the No Mud, No Lotus. He was like, he said that they, you know, in their religion, they practice the bell. And when the bell goes off, the bell is a sign to stop and breathe and appreciate what's going on in this moment
100%.
And see what's happening. And that's kind of what happened just now as he was talking. You know, once the bell went off, my mind automatically starts to kick into that of be present. You know what I'm saying? Go back present right now. Empty your mind, be present. Are you enjoying what you're doing right now? What are you doing right now? Are you breathing? Do you feel your breath? You know what I'm saying? Are you focused? Are you present, or are you all over the place?
Yeah.
And the bell really helps bring me back. So that's why I let that beeping go off. If that beep goes off now, I'm like, oh, that's my bell. You know, and that's what he said. He said, find whatever sound works for you, whatever signal works for you. You know, it could be the freaking, you know, McDonald's commercial. Every time it comes on, it makes you, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, find what works for you to help you bring back the present. And then that's something that I'm like, that could be God, and I never noticed.
Yeah.
Because after hearing that, now I appreciate the beep more than, it's going off again. Like, no, now it's like, oh, it's beeping, let me stop.
You know what's crazy too, though? Is like, we start the podcast at different times, like, every
all the
time we do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it always seems to beep in the middle of the recording.
Mm-hmm. And and the bad part is it only does it once.
Yes.
You know, and that's the wild part. Like I said, different times, but we could do it at 6 something and it beeps, and it's freaking 8 o'clock right now and it's still beeping. And it's like, what are the chances it's only beeping during the podcast?
That.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or it beeps while I'm cooking dinner or something like that. I can cook dinner at a random time and it's always beeping while I'm in the kitchen cooking dinner. And I'm like, what are the chances of that? That's kind of odd, but you know, at the same time though, it's part of your time where I need to stop, breathe, refocus, you know, like actually enjoy what I'm cooking, you know what I'm saying? Not get out of the mindset of I'm in this kitchen, it's hot. Like, no, I'm cooking a meal right now. How can I make this work? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, I can cook, huh? You know what I'm saying? I can cut potatoes and onions or whatever the case may be, you know? So yeah, that would be one of the things for sure that I'm like, I would take that as a sign of it's God, but I never noticed it until later on in life that, that makes sense now, and I appreciate that beeping noise that used to annoy the hell out of me, but now it's like, deep breaths, relax, calm yourself, be present, do some mindfulness exercise, real quick mindful exercise, and then boom, go back to what you're doing. But it's like that sign to say, hey, you're alive still, you know, so yeah. I think if I was in Inception, that would be my wake me up from my dream noise. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had the little spinning top. Yeah. That would be my shit. The beep, the random beeping. Like, oh shit. So yeah, I like that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's amazing, bro. But yeah, man, that's all I really had. Oh, I didn't get your question of what you noticed was what happened to you that you didn't notice was God. I don't believe.
I think I built.
The rain. You're right. The rain.
I did the rain, and then well, I would say just how do I say just my relations with the people going through life and stuff like that. Like whether whether it's a break from talking to somebody for a minute, or somebody that I'm talking to on the daily, stuff like that. Just little small instances to where it's like, you're on the right path, and I can only see it in hindsight. How do I say it? Oh, like, okay, so what was it, yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Because I'm sitting there like, okay, well, I'm still trying to save money and stuff like that. I'm trying to like be a little bit more conscious of me fasting, intermittent fasting and stuff like that. But I'm like, what am I going to have for lunch today? Like, I'm not trying to spend too much money, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, one of the loan people come in. It's like, hey, I just ordered Domino's for the whole branch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it should be coming here soon. So, see him walk in, like, yeah, say it's for me, and then just bring it to the back. I'm like, wow, perfect. Like, it really I feel like there's a verse in the Bible which speaks about, what is it? I think somebody was saying, hey, don't you see how the birds and the things, they're always being fed, and that comes from our Father. So do you not think that you are worth more than them? Do you not think that He's also going to take care of you even better than He takes care of them? He takes care of them. They always have something to eat, somewhere to rest, stuff, things like that. So why would He not take care of you the same way? And it's just one of those moments where it's like, it didn't even see it come in, didn't even like necessarily realize it in the moment, but like, hey, thank God, I appreciate that. And then another thing, about a month ago, somebody that I met at a party back in like 2018 hit me up, and he was like, hey, I'm working on like an album, and I would like if you could, spit a verse on the last song. Like, basically, I'm just speaking about how God gave you closure if you could write a verse about that. So send me the files, and I was kind of procrastinating on it. I'm like, shoot, do I even have like what it takes to do that? Like, and everything in my life right now is kind of hectic. Like, I know I gotta get to it at some point, but like, even when I get to it, am I gonna have what it takes? Yeah, and I would like to kind of share that in like more of a poetic form. But I was kind of surprised with the way it came out. I was like, gotta make amends for the simple fact God has given a chance. Not the first one, I had plenty of sins, walking clueless, following demonic trends. To the end of my life, it was hung on a rope, all on dope, lost without a feeling of hope. I splashed and crashed, finally He's exalted at last, the Son of Man, Jesus, He's forgiven my past. Had to contemplate about this wild case, redirected fate to the holy gates. Why you pull me in, has me wondering, does the loving end? No, He's my closest friend. Now we step and step, hip to hip, my sword equipped, the potter's gift, cause I'm weak and pissed, and life's a trip, but when I slip, He's there so quick. All to give me closure as His peace is bliss. And I think it kind of, especially that last part, kind of spoke on the fact that, I'll bring up two things that I really liked about like the last end of the verse. One is the fact that it seems like God, He's the potter and I'm the clay, we're the clay, right? And even when we're broken, He molds us and makes light and goodness out of the broken situation. So when we're feeling stressed and things like that, He always makes it out to work for His good and for everybody's good at the end of the day. So it just offers that fact of like, hey, I can trust in Him. And then that closure that He told me to speak about, it just beautifully came in the fact that like, every time I feel that peace that we were talking about before, every time we go through those stressful situations and it just comes together, and then right after you do what you need to do, there's just that peace that comes with it. Hey, perfect peace.
Yeah.
Perfect peace. That's the closure. I'm on the right path. I'm doing the best I can.
No, I love that. And then look, I think I want to correct what you said. So, we always say we think we're broken, but that's the thing. We think we're broken. But I heard a great quote about that the other day. the pot may not look like a pot as a potter is putting it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he's gonna shape it and do things you wouldn't expect to do. So you know what the hell is he doing? And you don't even know that it's a pot until he finishes it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, if we're the clay, we're thinking we're broken. We're thinking we're not complete. We're thinking we don't have it all. But then all of a sudden, the potter does that little thing. We pushes the hands together, and all of a sudden that thing rises up a whole 2 feet, and you be like, "Wow!" You know what I'm saying? I didn't know I had this in me. And he's like, "You tripping? There's nothing to stress about." You know, I actually wrote something like that similar a long time ago, and I was just reading it as we was going through our notes, trying to figure out what we was gonna do for today's episode. Mm-hmm. And
another side note, that's another reason why, like, hey. That's a good blessing that God did for us, because we was talking about a whole bunch of stuff, just trying to figure it out, and then, hey, what's God done for us?
Right, exactly, though. 110%. So then I had a quote of, so I don't know where I came from this. God is all-knowing, past and future. Does his feelings get hurt even though he knows they will get hurt, or will I hurt them? So does his feelings get hurt if he knows that his feelings are going to he knows that you're going to break his heart, and he knows you're going to upset him? Does his feelings still get hurt? If he knows everything?
He doesn't.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's not tripping, because he knows that you're going to lean over to the left. You know he's going to lean over to the right. We're the ones that get hurt, and we think we failed, but he's like, I knew he's going to do that. Yeah. I wanted you to do that. I planned you to do that, And then that led me to my next part. Does God already know my path? Is he guiding me? I already have to know he gave it to me. I don't know how I did that. I don't know what I was writing. But you get what I'm saying, though. Like,
so I actually watched a video similar to, like, the way he explained it, right? And I think, like, I think he was talking, this dude was talking to a celebrity. The pastor was talking to a celebrity or something like that. And he was like, bro, do you think God is really going to accept me after all that I've done and what I'm currently doing? And he was like, and at the time he was still kind of getting grown in his face, but like the best thing he could say, given his faith at the time, was, it's like, you're the car, you're the driver, and he's a navigation system. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pointing you to a certain direction, and let's say it tells you make a left, three stoplights down, but instead you make your first right. Well, what does the navigation do?
It redirects.
And no matter how far you get off the path, it may get worse, or may be a rough path.
It's always a path to get back.
It's always a path to get back. And that's that love that he has for you. He's always, no matter what you do, he's just trying to guide you to the
right place. Exactly. And like you said, he always, if you go the wrong turn, okay, well, we can take this turn, and then we can get back to where we still need to go. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I know, top of my head, I know 10 routes to get to my dad's house.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? 3-on-3 freeway, 7 surface streets. You know what I'm saying? But I know the routes, you know what I'm saying? When you trust, you know that the routes are good, you don't even think about it no more, you just trust them.
Saying like, so let's say you come on the freeway and there's like a roadblock.
You know how to take a detour.
You know how to take a detour.
Yeah, and sometimes that detour is meant to take you off somewhere, you know, because you never know what that detour can help somebody out. Right. You know, like, you know, and that's something I keep saying about the car accident. Yeah, I got hit, you know, it took me on a detour, but me being detoured probably saved that old dude's life. And I'll accept that. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably, you know, me being cocky or whatever the case may be, but at the same time, it's giving myself purpose to feel that this wasn't just a setback for a reason. This was this setback was for a reason bigger than I can even imagine. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? More aspects than I can imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep it 1,000, you know what I'm saying? The boy driving that hit the old man, he could probably have been going home and go fight his girlfriend that night. And we probably just kept him from beating his girl. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I don't know the kid. He seemed like a really good guy, but I'm just saying, though, we don't know what that detour could have did and protect somebody else in another path. So it's like, sometimes not best for me to question it. Just keep driving straight. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Keep driving straight and see where it leads me to.
Accept what it is and keep moving.
Accept what it is and keep moving, man. So I love that, bro. Yeah, please.
So I know we're ending into our...
Yeah.
Did you want to...
I didn't have nothing else. I was going to ask you, I needed a shout out.
Yeah. So I was going to say, did we want to do the just keep swimming, like where you still swimming to, or is that like a topic that's for?
We can do our shout out right now first.
Okay.
That's best.
Cool. So I want to give a special shout out to Miss Patricia Yanni.
Miss Patricia Yanni.
Thank you so much. That call that you gave, I believe it was yesterday.
Thank you.
On Thursday. But yo, you just called to give appreciation that you started listening to the podcast after you got your new phone, because you were pretty adamant about like trying to figure it out. You even came back in, and I just want to say thank you, and then also just thank you for voicing your concern for Adrian.
Oh, I appreciate that.
She actually listened to the episode about you getting in the car accident.
Right.
That was one of the first things that she asked, like, "Hey, is your brother okay?" So I was like, you know, that makes us feel like amazing.
Right, exactly.
The fact that you're even listening, and to that, I know it's your birthday this week, so hey, happy birthday!
Happy birthday to ya! Happy birthday to ya! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
I was gonna keep going, but I was like, nah, I don't want to go too long. But yeah, no, thank you, Miss Patricia. Patricia, right?
Yeah, Patricia.
Yeah, appreciate the support and the love so much. I'm doing fine. I'm alive. I'm still here. I can't complain. I'm just happy to see another day, and knowing that my voice is being heard, our voices are being heard, and people are appreciating it. And with that being said, big shout out to Gerard from Immortal Crafts Barber Lounge. Same thing. I went to get my haircut today, and you know, he was asking, "Are you good?" and stuff. And I was about to explain the story, because that's usually what I have to do, explain the story, what happened.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, you don't have to explain. I heard it on your podcast." And I was like, wow. Beautiful. That's beautiful. You heard my podcast, and you can, from my podcast, you were able to see the accident that I got in. And then he texted me randomly before I even set my appointment up. He texted me saying, "Hey, bro, I just want to make sure you good." And I was like, "Oh, wow, this is my barber?
Yeah.
Checking up on me?" You know what I'm saying? He could have been worried about another client or who's going to bring me money this week. And I'm like, nah, he's worrying about somebody with no appointment for 2 weeks from now. But,
right.
So, yeah, I appreciate that, man. That love and support
Thank
from
you.
everybody, honestly.
Yeah.
From everybody out there. Anybody who sent me a DM, text message, commented, shit. Liked, loved, cared, whatever the fuck you did with the post. I appreciate all the love, support, all the prayers.
100%.
You know, like I said, I'm still here. I'm still swimming. If that was the government trying to take me out, you fucking failed. Just saying, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm just glad to be here today still. You know, like, I told my niece, I told Mariah, heaven ain't ready for me yet, you know? So, yeah, we're doing good still. So, appreciate that, bro.
And thank God for all y'all.
Yeah, yes, for real. Thank you guys for everything. I truly appreciate all of it. Yeah, and as you guys all know, big work's in the making. We have a big announcement coming up in the next few weeks for something that's going to happen in October. So if you guys are on social media and stuff, please be aware of it. Vegas people, be more aware, because you can possibly, that's it. You can possibly have some more fun. So you possibly get some more interaction. So, yeah, we're going to go from there. But besides that, bro, I was wondering if there's is there a verse you would like to leave us with? If not, I got one.
You go first.
Okay. Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anoints my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I would dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And mind you, I have a sticky note on that verse. I read that verse every single day.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah, that's a powerful one.
I was going to say, this one's going to be Isaiah 14, 18 to 19. This was one of the biggest verses that hit me as I started my walk with Christ. But it's, do not remember the former things, nor consider the things of the old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall bring forth. Shall you not know it? And it's like, just him saying, hey, forget all this stuff in the past. It's already done. Accepted it over with, right?
Yeah.
For me, at least, as God, you know, it's already over. Like, move past it. Do you not see what I'm trying to do over here? Stop being stuck on it. I'm doing a new thing.
I'm doing a new thing. And that goes back to the whole. I won't get too deep in it, but the Moses thing. You know, the first time he had to slam the staff to open the sea. The second time, the priests had to put their feet in the water to spread the sea. Yeah. So it's like, the old way ain't always going to work. You might have to do it the new way. But if you do it that new way and trust them, it's going to work out for you. So, yeah, I love that, bro. So, yeah, man, thank you again for being with me today, bro, for the great episode.
Of course.
We have, like I said, some good episodes coming in the future for sure, which is, yeah, with this craziness going on, it was a hard week, but we got you guys, you already know we got fire coming up, no question. If you guys haven't got your Audible book yet, please go sign up for it. Like I said, I highly suggest the Napoleon Hill Golden Rule. I think it's Golden Rules magazine. Nope, just Napoleon Hill's Golden Rules. Great life lessons. And then also No Mud, No Lotus by, I'm going to butcher his name, Thich Nhat Hanh. THICH space NHAT space HANH. So No Mud, No Lotus though. Amazing book, amazing breathing techniques they teach you. Talk about great life, stuff like that. So I love it. Anything you'd like to share, bro, before we walk off?
No, I'm good.
Yes, sir. So hope you guys out there had a wonderful day, a marvelous evening, and a blissful morning. Boy, I hope you guys had a blissful morning, a wonderful afternoon, and a marvelous evening. And you already know, reach out to us if you want to holler at us. You want to be on the episode, please reach out to us. We're always accepting guests. And yeah, just keep swimming, y'all.
Just keep swimming.
Yeah.